this is the Labour government in a nutshell, doing everything they can to pander to people that A, shouldn't be here, B, are bringing nothing of note to our countries and making many, many things worse, right? But they're banking on their vote still. They're showing that they still don't give a fuck about the British people. They want to kick sand and mud in their face at every single turn and appeal to their foreign voting bloc that is slowly eating away at our country still. Chancellor Rachel Reeves went to meet members of the Pakistani community in her constituency. And in doing so, you can tell that she's engaging in some kind of performative tripe. Because for some reason, she chose to meet them with a tea towel on her head. With a tea towel wrapped around her head. And this weird kind of Hawaii-looking scarf thing. The thing that women often wear, often by force, mostly by force, in Islamic countries to hide their hair, stuff like that. It does appear that Rachel Reeves can't even wear this right because she's still showing a lot of her hair at the front, so she can't even fucking wear it right. So it just looks like more of a half-assed effort than anything. Looks like she's trying to do the bare minimum to appeal to these men in this instance, right? Bear in mind, she's the only one that did this. There's two other women with her, I believe, that went to meet these people. Nothing on their heads whatsoever. She can't even bastard seemingly wear it right, which is, again, another metaphor, if you will, for how these people are running the country. They try to look like they are, but they can't even bastard do it right. And they can't even make it look like they're doing it right. All to appeal to people that say we want shouldn't be here. But here's the video for you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. I'll turn that fucking music off because that's getting on my nerves. I didn't know there was music in the video. So here you go. You can see she's talking with the members of the constituency with this bloody bastard tea towel thing on her head. And you could see that the others that came in basically had nothing on their head. I'll see if I can find it now. So there it is. See, do you see the lady there shaking the other lady's hand? The two of the ladies that are with her, absolutely nothing. So again, why the performative tripe? Why the performative tripe? Votes, my dear Watson. Votes, my dear Watson. And again, we're just sick and tired in this country at the moment of seeing this woke, disgusting woke shit in our country. That's what we're just sick and tired of. And that's why the betrayal of reform has been left such a state and taste in the mouth at the moment with some of the decisions that they've made. One of the biggest ones recently that made them look all the more like part of the establishment is that reform with Sarah Ponshin, in this instance, which I think we covered before, was one of the ones that was out celebrating Pride and was photographed next to a drag queen, I believe, whom Reform decided to recruit for some reason. They won't have Rupert Lowe, who seems to be getting more and more hardline in his nationalist sentiment, right? Really, really shifting the Overton window and, doing so to the, I think, very real, scaring of the establishment. I had to post something not on Facebook, on X recently, because a bunch of illegal aliens rocked up on the shores of Great Yarmouth in dinghies. And that's Rupert Lowe's constituency, by the way. And I had to say, I was like, they could not have chosen a worse constituency to rock up on the shores on. They could not have chosen a worse constituency to rock up on the shores on. So in response to that, I'll quickly see if I can find it from Rupert Lowe's X page now, because he jumped into action very quickly, saying that dinghies... apparently there's a community note on it now. So there we go. Apparently the vessel was actually not a dinghy containing illegal migrants. It was a ocean rowing boat crewed by a member of 4 who were raising money for charity, which is good to see, because good to see it was a false alarm. Good to see it was a false alarm, actually. But he said, dinghies coming into Great Yarmouth right now. Authorities alerted, and I am urgency chasing. If these are illegal migrants, I will be using every tool at my disposal to ensure these individuals are deported. Enough is enough. Britain needs mass deportations now. So Rupert Lowe not mincing his words. Meanwhile, even I think to the shock of what is now going to be Reform's voter base, Sarah has said that she supports digital ID. The one thing that is desperately needed to institute a social credit system, digital ID, Reform now say, according to users on X, which will play a video now, that they support.
What do you feel about ID cards, digital ID cards? Is that something that Reform UK would support?
Well, look, I personally don't have a problem with an ID card. You know, I don't see what the issue is. Most of our information now is on our smartphones anyway.
Can we trust the system, though?
Well, what's more, how much more could we be at risk? As I say, all of our information is out there in a cloud, in the ether, whatever you want to call it. It's all available, isn't it? We can all be tracked now if somebody wants to track us.
What do you feel about ID cards, digital ID?
Again, coming from the background of Sarah, this should not be surprising, but this just shows really, really how far that they are falling, that they are now openly endorsing some of the methods that will be necessary to institute a kind of social credit system, which is straight down the uniparty totalitarian line. I have not seen anything from Tice or Farage or anybody saying that they, like they did with Anne Widdecombe and the trans prison situation we talked about last time. Pardon me. Whether they oppose it or not. So I'm assuming that this is correct, because obviously she's speaking on behalf of Reform. We should absolutely disagree with her, because there's no saying what the government can do. When you give them this power, they can just turn your ability to go anywhere off at any time. That's why we should oppose it. Doesn't matter what situation we're in right now. We should oppose it getting any worse, Sarah. And that's why we should oppose digital ID and central bank digital currency. But this should tell you everything that you need to know. This should tell you everything that you need to know. So not only do they support digital ID by their own metric now, according to some, namely Tim Shipman in this instance, who's writing in The Spectator, I believe, Reform, appealing to the demographic which they really want to appeal to, potentially even making Jeremy Corbyn's party blush with how much they're appealing to these people. Westminster councillor Layla Cunningham is being lined up to be Reform's candidate for Mayor of London. They did this at the expense of Ant Middleton. One of the most popular people in the country from SAS who dares wins, a true patriot who cares about his people and his country, literally went to fight and give his life for it across the seas. So instead of Ant Middleton, who you can be sure that a lot of the British public will get behind, namely because he's, British man, strong, not a Muslim, a moderate Muslim mother who could communicate very effectively and talk sense, she could win. Quite clearly showing that they want a candidate that will not actually make a change, because she's not going to then go against her people, is she? She's not going to then go against her people. No, they're actually banking on the Muslim vote the same way that all of the other parties are, seemingly. And that just goes to show that Reform are capitulating at every single turn. Reform are capitulating on these key issues in every single term, and to their massive detriment. Now seeing they brought Sarah Ponchen on board, and now they're endorsing digital ID. They brought Zaya Yousaf on board, and then the immigration rhetoric dropped down. They brought Layla Cunningham on board. Now we're going to see another Muslim mayor of London if she wins. Not to mention somebody who's going to likely be a very liberal female, which is only going to make matters even worse, in my opinion. Just the betrayal of Reform has truly been something to behold, something to marvel at. It's truly disgusting. Truly disgusting. In Wales at the moment, I'm thinking, what is our best alternative? I can't see anything, worse in the future for Wales, then I'd sooner vote Reform than any of the others, I think, at the moment. Purely because the ideas that the others want to bring in are so damaging. The Plaid Cymru, Labour, and Green guys, they're all behind Nation of Sanctuary and mass ethnic replacement, basically, and genocide by replacement. We can't have that. That would, that's going to be extinction for our people. We can't have that. There's extinction for our people and our faith and everything like that. It'd be civilization destroying. So for all their faults, I think they might be the best thing that we've got in Wales at the moment, but time will tell. Time will tell. We've got precious little time until next year, to the general election, till the Welsh election, sorry. We will see.